First of all, we take a look at our setup. And here in the setup, the patch and fixture schedule. Here we can see the fixtures that already are patched. We got a lot of dimmer channels. The first 12 dimmer channels are the backlights, the PAR 64. And I already assigned some gels to the PAR 64. Then we continue with another dimmer channels. The next 6 channels will be the Fresnels in the front. And another 6 will be profilers. Then here we got our wash lights, MAC outer, and our spots hung in the truss and the back truss, some Robo Pointy. Now we take a look at the stage. I turn on some ambient light. You can see better the stage. Should be this one. Yeah, here it is. I make it big. Here you can see the stage. Let's rotate a bit. As you see, the front truss, they're all symmetric, also the profiler. In the back, the 64s are a bit asymmetric. And here on the top we got our spots, and on the floor, yeah, here you can see them, our wash lights. Okay, let's change it back to the middle. I'm gonna make it small again and turn off the ambient light. Or maybe here at the beginning we can keep it with 10%. Just adjusting a bit our view. Well, this should be a point of view of the audience. Fine. Next step is that we're gonna start making some groups. The first group will be a group of all our dimmers. In the first monitor here I got the fixtures, in the second monitor are groups. Let's select all our backlights. Or all our PAR 64 backlights. I'm gonna store them in the first group and call them backlight, or call them all PAR. Next group will be all our Fresnel front lights. There should be 6 up to here. All Fresnel. And last not least, all our profilers. Now we can make groups out of the groups. If we're gonna start with our backlights, we're gonna select all backlights of one color. For this I'm gonna select them, give some highlights, and now I'm gonna select first all red ones. I think here was the other red one. Okay, that's the first group, I call them red. Now let's go for the green group. Where was it? Here. Then there's a blue group. Nah, where's the blue? Here's a blue. And there's the last blue. And our last group will be this violet or pink. There it is. Yeah, call it violet. The Fresnels, I don't need subgroups. The profilers, I would like to name them as the positions are. So let's see here, number 18. Okay, let's start with the 19. The 18 is a Fresnel. The 19 goes to the trumpet. Well, trumpet, or is it a saxophone? I think it's a trumpet. Well, anyway, I call it saxophone. It's much shorter. Next one is piano. Then we got it's on the singer position, I guess. Yeah, it's the singer. Now, first let's do the drums. So we can start with the musician line, and then last position will be the singer. So that's drums. Next one is guitar. And our last instrument is the bass. Now let's take a look here for the singer. You can see the circle is a bit bigger, so the singer can move. If you're in a bigger theater, you also could adjust some backlight profiler. Here we only got 6 profilers, and we put them on the musicians as front light. Okay, here we got the position of the singers. Maybe let's rearrange a bit the view. I would like to have, I would like to move the profiler here. I'm gonna rearrange a bit the positions of the groups. Normally I work horizontally, but for this I would like to work vertical. So let's move the LED pars, the par lights, par 64, to the last column. Okay, then we can make here a column for our spots and here for our washes. The first column will be all the general lights. Here we got all par or Fresnel, and let's make here all the profiler. Then we start, or then we put the singer in a single column. The musicians will be here. And here. Now we got left this one and that one. Yeah, that's fine. So we can continue with our fixtures, and I would like to add all our mag. You can see we only got 4 wash lights, but each wash light got 2 instances. I'm gonna work with them only with 1 instant. So as normal wash light, normal mode. Store here all wash. Then we need all spot. Where to put them? Put them here. All spots. Now let's change it again. Okay, now it's logical. Here we got the groups of all. Here the groups of the musicians. Here we can make the groups of the wash, the spot, and the colored pars. Okay, this means we need the wash. I don't make groups of fixtures, I just put the fixtures itself here. Because we only got 8 fixtures, it will be very fast selecting them here individually. So, that's the first wash. The second. The third. And the last one. Yeah, the spelling error we correct later. Same for the spots. First spot. Sometimes it's eating the first letter I'm writing. second spot, third spot, and our last spot. Okay, let's correct the spelling error. We want to have the wash too. Now we got our groups, and it's a moment to save. Let's start programming. I can see here we are on page 2. I want to go to page 1. The first thing, I would like to do some helping executors. Executor with all the wash lights and full intensity. I call them wash full. And a second executor with all our spots, also full intensity. The most important thing, as usual, is the front light. So I'm gonna program the first executor with all Fresnel full on. Now, before I continue with the other executors here I'd like to assign some executor buttons to highlight some musicians. For example, whenever the guitar player is playing a solo, his profiler will be at 100% and all other profilers on the front light will be a bit dimmed. This way I can give accents to the point of interest. First step is to select all the profiler. I give them full intensity. And now I turn them a bit down. Let's see what we got here, about it's 53. Okay, well, let's go straight away to half intensity at 50. Then the front light, all Fresnels, give them 50% as well. Yeah, that's it. And the next thing is the point of interest. Then the front light, all Fresnels, give them 50% as well. Yeah, that's it. And the next thing is the point of interest. I try to assign them from left to right the same way I see the stage. Starting here on our trumpet saxophone player. This means the saxophone player, his profiler will be 100%. Okay, you can see it here. Yeah, maybe we should turn down the other profilers a bit more. Let's go down. Okay, and the sax profiler again at 100%. Yeah, now you can see a nice accent on the sax player and the other musicians still in light. If it seems too low, then we could readjust it a bit with the front light. But that's fine. We're gonna store this on our first executor button here on the lower line, and I call it saxophone. Next step is I would like to assign all the other buttons with the other musicians, but I would like to have the following thing. Whenever I push this button, I would like to deselect the other buttons. So that's the thing you can make very easily with the .2 or with the MA2, MA1. You do a CMD command. I'm gonna view the content of the executor. And I go to the CMD section here, and here I will write the comment. The comment will be to turn off all these other executors. Let's take a look at the executor numbers. You can see that's a 214. We have to turn off the 209 through 213. As I'm gonna copy the information of this executor to the other executors, I'm gonna do it a way to say turn off executor 209 through 214 except 214. And as a CMD command, this will be off executor 209 through 214 minus executor 214. If we copy the executor later to the other positions, we only need to adjust the last number, the executor which will be on. Now I'm gonna copy this executor to the other positions. Well, first of all, I'm gonna clear it, make a check if it's on. Yeah, it's fine, it's on. Or maybe before copying, we should add a fade time. As you can see here, at the moment it's very fast. I would like to add a little fade time. And I'm gonna add a fade time of 1.2 seconds. And also an off fade. At the moment the off fade is straight away. It fades in smoothly, but the off is too fast. And the off should be here in this comment. The off time, well, we also can do, now let's go to 1.5 seconds. Turning in, turning off. Fine. Now we can go and copy this executor to the other positions. We're gonna take a look. Yeah, as you can see here, I turn it on, and after fade in, it turns off straight away because of the CMD command. That means the first thing we have to adjust is the CMD command. We take a look at the executor. What's in the CMD line is the same as before. We turn off all executor except the 214, and now it's the 213. So we're gonna just adjust this. It's 213. Same here. Let's take a look. 214 should be 212. The next one should be 211. Then 210. And last not least, the 2.9. Let's make a check. This one goes on. Now this one should turn on and the other one off. Yeah, here it is. And now the last thing we have to do is to change the point of interest. Here we said we want to have the first musician on the left. Now on the next executor it should be the piano player. The first thing is we have to dim the profiler of the sax player. So you can see here the low level is 50%. So adjust it to 50%. And we give the piano player 100%. And restore it in our queue and we update it. Or here it's not update, it's merge. Now we can make a quick test if it is working. Yes, here we can give the point of interest. Same thing with the next position. I go to our drummer. This should be the drum position. Again, the saxophone has to be at 50% and the drums at 100%. We're gonna store it and merge. Next thing is our guitar player. Same thing, sax at 50 and the guitar 100%. Store merge. And let's go a bit faster. Here the bass player will be at 100% and the sax player at 50%. Merge. And in our last thing, again the sax player at 50 please, and the singer at 100%. And update here with merge. So we turn it off. Okay, let's make a test. Also at the moment our front light is at 100% and also the front light should turn down. Not the fader but the intensity, the values. If you take a look here, at the moment they're 100%. And now there starts a drum solo. And now the bass player continues with another solo. Adjust the point of interest on the bass player. Now I forgot to give names. So I'm gonna label quickly the buttons. The next one is piano. Then we got the drums. Next one is the guitar. Then we got the bass. And finally the singer. Yeah, everything is working the way it should. Now here we got all our positions. And here I would like to make a special executor for a drum solo. Sometimes if there's a faster or upbeat drum solo, I like it very much if all spots pointing at the drummer and doing some strobe effect. I'm gonna turn on the intensity of our spots. I'm gonna turn them on here in the programmer, which means it doesn't affect the programming, because they're still not, as you can see here, they're still not in the programmer. Now I'm gonna adjust all the spots to the drum position. Gonna move a bit the orbit, so it's easier, will be easier to find the drummer. All the spots. I go a bit to the front. And we're gonna start with the first one. Moving them towards the drummer. Could be a bit bigger here. Okay. It's at 35 degrees, so the other one should be at 35 degrees as well, if the drummer is in the center. Yeah, almost. Here the second one. They are here. And let's go back with the tilt. And the last one. Whoop, very fast. And let's go a bit more to the center. Yeah. Let's change the view again. Here they are. Next step is to give all other attributes except the dimmer information. I always want to have open gobo. For a strobe effect, a white color. The beam is okay only if there was a prism in an executor before, just in case I give a prism of information. The focus, I think we're gonna stay at a 50%. Whoa, as you see, I made a mistake. I only had selected the third spot. So let's do it again for all the other spots quickly. Gobo, color, the prism off, and the focus. Well, it could be interesting with a bit narrow angle. Yeah, And the focus, well, actually for a strobe effect, we don't need a focus. Okay, we got all this information now, except our dimmer information. The dimmer, if we turn off the executor, that is what is in the program at the moment. So everything but the dimmer information. That's fine, so we can make our first cue. I call this drum solo. The first cue will be a blind cue, so all the moving lights can go to the position. And the second cue will be simply a cue. I turn off the executor, and for the second cue I turn on all the dimmer information. But I don't want to give them a full dimmer, as you can see here. More, I would like to have a dimmer chase. So I go to the effects, select a hard dimmer, give them a higher speed, should be about 350 or 400. Yeah, that's okay. And we go to a shuffle selection. That's fine. The next thing we do is that we dim all our front lights a bit. Let's say the front lights all Fresnel at 30%, please. It's a bit extreme. Let's give them higher. And just in case, if there's some profiler on, we can turn them off. All the profiler. I give the profiler at -30, please. So that's just in case if they are on. And I'm gonna store this as a second cue. Gonna store it here. Create a second cue. Clear everything. Let's take a look here at the cues. Drum solo here in this cue, they go to the position, and in the second cue, I'll just give it a name. Here starts the chase. And now what we need to do is adjust the trigger time, so we only start the cue, and after a time the second cue will fire. This means we need a trigger, and the trigger is a time, and here's the time of 1 second. I think 1 second should be enough for the moving lights to go to the position. Okay, let's take a look if our dimmer is working, or if our chase is working. Just in case, I lift up the dimmer here, and now there's our drum solo. Yeah, that's fine. We could add a little smooth fade time. This would be more for the front lights. Maybe of 200 milliseconds. As the front lights are Fresnels, there will be a little glow anyway. So this should be fine. Yeah. And same thing again, the off time, to make a smooth fade back to the view we had before. We add an off time maybe of 1.5 seconds. Yeah, that's looking nice. Okay. I've just seen here in the first executor we also could add a bit of the profilers, of all profilers, to give a little accent to all our musicians. That's what I forgot before. And let's see. Yeah, maybe something like this. Just let me see how strong error of 80%. Yeah, that's fine. Just merge this. So we got in our first, in the front light cue, also the profiler. That's a thing I forgot before. That's very nice. We can fire the drum solo again, and you'll see also the profiler should disappear. Fine. The next cue will be a center cue, It could be, or it's very probably that in a lot of shows something special will happen in the center. Maybe invitation of another musician, some dance, or something that happens straight away in the center, and you need all the attention, all the point of interest to the center. Here I would like to make a static cue that I can fire from all our banks later. I'm gonna change a bit the orbit, turn off our front lights, and I would like to make a little circle here, a little U, upside down U with our spots. I'm gonna turn them on again here in the executor, not in the programmer. A little bit of front light to be able to see the stage. And now I adjust our spots, making an U. But this time I don't use the encoders and the positions. I'm a bit lazy, I just need here, I just adjust them with the follow button. Because actually it's not very interesting how to use the encoders. And it's not part of the class. Watching all the time, boring encoder moving. Okay, here now we got them making a little U on the stage. I think the third one could be a bit up here. And let's take a look here at the position of the number 1 and number 4. Here I'm gonna use the encoder wheel. Okay, it's the orbit is a bit uncool. Yeah, if you take a look from the top, it's fine. Same as we did before, we select all of them and give them some information about gobo, light, whatever. Here I'm gonna use the dots. I like them very much. The color will be a white color. All the time. We add a prism with a very slow rotation. Let's make the first and the second, or let's say the even moving lights, the even spots, right turn, and the other ones will be a left turn. Gonna use all of them, give them a bit zoom effect. Yes, that's looking nice. Very fine. And that's it. We got all information except the dimmer information, same as we did before on the drum solo. I'm gonna store it here on this executor and call this center. Gonna clear it. Still here this executor's on. Let's take a look what happens if we fire the button. They go to a position, they're very slow. I think in real life the points are faster. Or let's just take a look if we got here a speed in the master speed. Yeah, they're already at a full speed. So should be the simulation the problem. Now we want to create a second cue. If you turn off here the spot information, you can see, or you can't see, but they're already in position with all the other attributes except the intensity. And now we make a second cue, same as we did with the drum solo, creating an intensity. The spots are selected, and now I fire intensity. And the same thing I would like to do with our front lights. I would like to give a point of interest here more to the center. This means I'm gonna turn off all profiler. Let's say here 0 0. I'm gonna turn on the profiler singer because it's in the center. And from the 6 front lights, I would like to use only the front light 2, 3, 4, and 5. And also making an assignment on the 2, 3, 4, 5. This means now I have to take a look which front lights there are. We said the front lights are here the profiler, these are the front lights. So it's from 14 to 17. I'm gonna go and select fixture 14 through 17, please. And I give them intensity at 20 through 100 through 20. If I hit yes, this will make a nice alignment here. Yeah, I think the two outside ones can be a bit stronger. Yeah, and the totally out ones, the 13 and 18, we have to turn off. So now we got a point of interest more to the center. Yeah, maybe the 14 and 17 can be higher. Yeah. Okay, we don't need an alignment, we give them 100%. We got this align effect with the additional light of the profiler. And I'm gonna store this on the same executor as a second queue. Turn off everything. Let's take a look at our executor. Again, in the first one we go to the position, and in the second one we do the dimmer on. And as we did before, we need a trigger time. And because they're very slow in the simulation, I'm gonna add 1.8 seconds. Hope that they will be fast enough. And also a little fade, but the fade only will be the dimmer fade. Even there are no other attribute informations. But if there would be some other informations, I would go this way and say a dimmer fade of also 1.5 seconds. This should be our cue. Let's move this back. And well, let's fire the cue. First of all, here I'm gonna turn on the front light and we fire the cue. Yeah, it takes a long time. In my opinion, it's too long. Let's try to change the trigger time to 200 milliseconds. As we got a dimmer fade, so we got with the dimmer fade we got about, yeah, I think 1.4 to 1.6 milliseconds time in total. Nope, they need more time. 1 second here, and 1 second here. Still more time. Okay. Well, you still you can see a slight movement, but I'm pretty sure that in a live situation they will be much faster. Well, change to 1.8. Yeah, that's fine. Also the fade time can be a little bit faster. Let's do it to 1.2. Okay, I think that's good enough. And we need an off fade to avoid this hard change back to the first cue. This means off time 1 second. Here's our queue. And back to the previous view. Okay, fine. Now we only got 2 more buttons. We only need 2 more buttons. I'm gonna put the buttons here up. There will be a button for a page change or preparing a page change, and here a button for the smoke machine. Well, the button for the smoke machine, as I can see in the setup, we didn't assign a dimmer channel for the smoke machine. Let's go to the patch and add another fixture. I'm gonna call this smoke. And I would like to give it the ID 500, not the ID 500. I'd like to give it the DMX patch 500, and the ID will be 100. We apply them. Okay, here in the simulation the dimmer channel will appear, or the smoke machine will appear as a dimmer channel as a fixture. Here it is. I'm gonna clear everything, I'm gonna give it full intensity and store this here as a smoke button. Here we got a smoke button. And the last thing is to make a page change button. In the page change, I would like to store an empty queue and only giving a comment that turns off all executor except the frontlight executor and the center executor. So if for some reason we need a center executor, this still will be on. If it's not on, it doesn't affect, but the front light will be on all the time. This means we're gonna store an empty queue, and I'm gonna call it page change. And in this empty queue we only give some information about the executors. We go to the CMD section, and what we want to do is turning off all the executors here except the first executor. This means executor 7. Now later we got 2 more. This means executor 5 through 13 and 101 through 214. Off executor 5 through 13, of executor 107 through 214 minus executor 207. And the last thing here, it turns off all the executors, and then also I want to turn down the faders to 0 intensity. This means executor 5 through 13 at 0. That's it. The center effect. Okay, let's take a look. We don't have that many executors at the moment, but if I activate the page change, they should turn off. Drum solo as well. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, they turn off. We also can just to show that it's working, store another executor here and another executor here. Give them intensity and go to the page change, and they should go down as well. Okay, everything is fine. We can delete them again. And now we got prepared all our executor buttons here. We got 4 left if we want to store something on the fly, but actually this concept of busking is not made for storing things. This will be the first page. That's our, let's say it's a model of pages, and I would like to copy this page to all other pages. So whenever we make a design now, a show design, we got these buttons as a preset in every page. This means I'm gonna copy, first of all I'm gonna copy the page 1 to page 2, and we start on page 2 with our first song. Also we could start on the first page, it doesn't matter. Now we got our first page prepared, all the executors that we want to have constantly on all the other pages. And also the front light is something that we need on all the other pages. I would like to fix the front light on this page to make it available on all other pages. This means I choose the fix option and gonna fix this executor. And also I'm gonna fix all the other ones here. The smoke, the program change, and also we can keep the wash and the spot full. Now they should be on the other pages as well. Yeah, so they're fixed on all pages. Just take a quick look here on the page. There are 12 pages at the moment prepared. If we get higher, we got more pages. Okay, let's go back to page number 1, and we can start with our first design.